Welcome to Big Dick's Picks. And no, this is not a dick measuring contest. This is your one-stop shop for all your sports gambling podcast needs. I'm Big Mo, and I'm joined here by my co-hosts, EPR and Amesy. Oh, and I forgot about our other host, Richard.
My name's not Richard. It's Dick. I prefer Dick.
Okay, Richard, whatever. Anyways, Amesy, how you doing this week?
I'm doing good, man. We got a loaded show. It is football season, so I'm always going to be happy. That is definitely, my bread and butter when it comes to picks. And I was full of locks last weekend. I'm ready to do it again this week.
I love it.
Absolutely.
And EPR, or El Padrino Rojo for short, how you doing? What's going on this week?
It's starting off. I think it's a pretty solid week for myself. Maybe a little low energy, a little tired, need some sleep. But that's because I was up celebrating so much from how much we won over the weekend. So
maybe you don't need sleep. Maybe you need a snake draft.
Maybe. That's possible. But that Seahawks game did me well. So hoping to ride that energy moving forward. Excited for our group today, and except for Richard, back there. But
yeah,
what can you do about him, right?
And for all of our listeners out there, we sincerely apologize for the anticipated start date last week falling through the cracks. We had a couple technical issues, but we are up and ready to go. You can follow us on Spotify or YouTube, and we try to upload it as quickly as possible so that you can tail our bets. But additionally, we try and set it up so that you have enough time to set the picks, get them in, and hopefully win some money.
Yeah, these should mostly all be uploaded by Fridays, so that way you guys have the weekends to actually view it. So listen to it on your drive home, whatever, place your bets, have some fun with us.
And with that, I think we're going to start it off with our random snake draft that we're going to do every single week. Every week, we're going to have a different topic, and we're going to go through and do a different snake draft. And starting off this week, it's EPR. What's EPR? What's the category of the draft that we're doing?
You're letting me pick?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think the category is going to have to go with a classic of mine. Not really, but what would be the best / craziest touchdown celebration?
And just so we know how this works with a snake draft, we're gonna go pick one. It'll be EPR
I'll
this
start
week.
us off. Yeah.
Then it'll be myself, Amesy. Then we'll go to Big Mo. He'll have 2 picks in a row. He'll have the wrap around. We'll go back and forth. We're gonna do 4 rounds.
We don't care about Big Dick's picks.
We don't.
On this, we do sort of normally on the other picks. But the snake draft, he's irrelevant.
He's actually out having a smoke break right now, so he's not even in here for this part.
He's flipping us off through the window. So fuck you, Dick. Yeah. Sorry, Richard.
He can't hear us right now. He can't complain about it. It's fine. All right. So I'll start us off here. 4 picks, correct?
4 picks.
Okay.
4 rounds.
Yep, 4
so,
rounds.
Starting off, I don't know if it's a strong one, but I would play keep away from the ref with the ball.
Okay.
With the rest of the team. Every time he'd run up to grab it, I'd fake him out and throw it to my teammate.
Major delaying strategy. I like that a lot.
Is that a delay of game penalty?
You know what? We're going to say no.
I'm not a football ref. I'm going to have to assume it probably is something. However, for these rules, I don't care.
All right. That's a good pick. I got a round 1 guy myself. And I'm just going to go with hard drugs. You finish your celebration and you just do a line. And you know what? Not only is it a great celebration, but it gives you a lot of energy for the next, few steps. So
would you immediately be disqualified after that?
No, I mean,
right.
It's a gray area.
Okay.
It's a gray area.
Only if you test positive after.
Yeah, I mean, they've got all these rules nowadays. I'm not sure.
What's your tolerance level?
You'll probably be fine. Let's move down now. I know I probably took number 1 off your board, Big Mo. What do you got?
Oh, man. Yeah, you guys took some good ones, but I am absolutely shocked that this guy or this pick fell this far. My first pick in the first round for best touchdown celebration would be a live public execution of an ISIS member.
Oh my goodness. What happens if you run out of members? What happens if you score a lot of touchdowns?
There's always some terrorist
That's just-
networks that we could bring in for a primetime game, execute them right in front of everyone. That would be an electric celebration.
Does the network station change the TV so it looks like a handheld recording for a little bit?
It really should. If the NFL wants to reach all of their viewers, especially in the Middle East, I think that would be a fantastic idea for a touchdown
I
celebration.
agree.
All right. I mean,
Solid.
uniting the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football, I like it. Okay,
Yeah.
what do you got for round 2?
So because I get back-to-back picks, I this one easily could have been a first rounder, but I knew I was going to pick him up in the second round. My second touchdown celebration is you score the touchdown, you get in a car, you chug a fifth of vodka, you crash the car and get a DUI.
Oh my gosh. Talk about a delay of game penalty.
No, he's not. He's out of the game. Actually, he left.
10 yards for a Dewey.
All right, okay.
I love it.
I'm not going to lie, that was
love
not on my board.
No, yeah, you didn't
For-
take any of mine either, so I feel safe. I feel
For
like
the second round, my second round talent was a tattoo on the field. So you get your touchdown, you jump on the bed, and you get something tattooed.
What
Now,
are they getting tattooed?
I
Whatever you
was gonna
want.
say their opponent's face, but if you're a really, really high scoring guy, you're just gonna have a body full of faces, and I just don't know if that's gonna be your best
So-
move if you're not already a married man.
where's the tattoo?
Dealer's
Dealer's choice.
Depends on how
Steelers'
good of a
choice.
player you are.
Yeah,
that's
how much
true.
room you got
Yeah.
left.
That's true. It's starting to fill. It's kind of like the Buckeyes helmets. It just starts to fill up there.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Oh, all right. Well, my second round pick, I'm gonna have to go with a classic. Depends how excited I'd be in this moment, but I just pissed my pants.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
right there, lay back, piss
All
my
right.
pants for everyone to see.
The ultimate confidence move.
And I think it's better overall if you're doing it, especially in like a Green Bay uniform, where you
Okay.
really accents the color.
All right.
Also, it's just kind of a team that looks like you'd
All
already.
right. I am a Packers fan, by the way, just in case you guys didn't listen to our first episode.
Oh man.
Anyways,
All
round
right.
3. What do you got?
So round 3, plain and simple, score that touchdown, jump up, get deported.
That sounds pricey.
Deportation live on Sunday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Quick and easy.
A little bit dry with the paperwork. I don't know how the crowd would react. It is kind of a good lead into my third round pick.
That's terrifying.
Who, again, might not be the best for the crowd, but is the best for you. It is depositing $500 into a high-yield savings account. So, not only do you score the touchdown, but you are getting long-term money.
I should have taken a
You are
drink in that
getting
moment.
long-term money. Guess what? Next week, you got $512 in that account. Not only are you scoring touchdowns, you are winning at life at the same time.
If you want to be really disrespectful, put it in a 529.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, okay. All right, that might be for a safety.
Roth
I don't know.
IRA all the
I don't
way,
know if I
baby.
could do that
My,
every
my
week.
TDs paid for my kids' college.
You know what?
As a former financial advisor, definitely going to have to say that is a high-level pick. And I can't believe I didn't think of
believe
that.
it slipped to the
Unbelievable.
third round.
I know.
That guy starts scoring more touchdowns. He's going to have a very good down payment on a house.
I love it. I love it.
My pick for the third round is a little different than Amesy's there. It's a little bit more destructive, let's say.
Oh, no.
Third round pick, score a touchdown, and you light yourself on fire, monk style.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope he didn't do the $500 last week because, man, he's not getting that money.
Spent $500 on gasoline, am I right?
512 with that interest.
All right. Woo. Okay, that's
All right. And beginning the fourth round, this one is classic. This has been on the internet for a long time. You probably find yourself scrolling your phone at 2 a.m. for hours and hours watching these type of videos.
Porn?
Which,
Oh.
no, not quite. Not quite.
Okay.
We know where your head's at. But no, these are viral sensations, so I figured this would be a fantastic touchdown celebration, and that is to crush yourself with a hydraulic press.
Oh my God.
A classic YouTube video.
Now I have some questions.
I
what
don't.
if this is not a dome? Where are you keeping the hydraulic? Is it coming down from the ceiling?
No,
If
sideline.
you're a good enough team, you're bringing it with you.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
agree.
All
Yeah.
right.
I didn't have any questions. To me, it logically made sense.
All
Yeah,
right.
make the
And-
trainers wheel it in.
And-
Okay.
To your credit, I know I shouldn't really be amping yours up, but realistically, what draws the most viewership? Those hydraulic press videos, unreal views.
That's true.
Yeah.
And,
Millions of views in like hours.
I mean, this
Makes
is
no
the
sense.
NFL. They probably have one in each stadium already.
Yeah, how do they?
Because after a season of this, we might start losing some players to injury. I'm not gonna lie, just like the burning yourself alive one. But I like it. I think fourth round is where it deserves to be. That's quality talent there.
I think it would bring in more viewers than Taylor Swift in terms of hype right now.
Okay.
So, let's just
All
leave it
right.
at that.
That's
Let's
a
just
little-
leave it at that. Yeah.
That's a little far.
Fourth round pick. It's my last player here. You score a touchdown, and I am gonna go with adopting your opponent's child. So the papers
Wow.
are gonna be there. The photos are gonna be ready on the big screen. You score a touchdown. You sign the paper. The kid's face pops up. The crowd goes crazy. I mean, can you think of a more electric way? You win 7 points and you win a son. So come on.
That is like very wholesome. I wasn't expecting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, not to the other side.
You
but
rounded it out with a very wholesome pick.
You don't know
Thank
how
you.
bad your
Yeah.
opponent is as a father, though.
that's
Maybe...
true.
Yeah,
That's
what if
true.
he just got crushed by a hydraulic press?
Exactly. You know what? We got some pairing
He
happening
really
here.
needs a new dad now.
It's a high level
Wow,
fourth round talent.
that's gonna be hard to follow up.
Thank you.
Coincidentally, I actually had a child pick as well for that, but I
child
changed it. Don't make this weird.
Okay. All right.
Don't make this weird.
Child pick, please.
I was gonna. we're not abducting, nothing like that. No, it was very topical. But I actually changed it last minute here.
Okay.
And after I score, right, catch that game winner, whatever it is, I run over to the opposing sideline and just give their coach a slap on the ass. Just
All right.
look them in the eyes, give them a slap on the ass,
Okay. I mean,
assert your
you
dominance.
know what? Ending with eye contact is the best thing you can do.
I think so.
Let's end the segment with eye contact.
That's
perfect.
a great
Yeah.
celebration until you play against the Detroit Lions and they have the scariest coaching staff in the history
That's
of the
true.
NFL.
Dan
Yeah,
Campbell's
Dan
got some
Campbell
guns.
Is a scary man.
Well, I think it would be good TV, regardless.
I would agree.
You don't think that's going to get replayed in views? I do.
I think the hydraulic press is gonna it's gonna crush that one.
I don't know. All right. I didn't say it was the best.
All right. Feel free to vote on, whose draft you think was the better, brought in the more talent. We will tally that up and we will figure it out, next week, and we will declare a winner there.
Sounds
And
good.
For all of those listeners there, I appreciate you listening to our snake draft, which is how we're going to kick off all of our shows. Just so that all of the listeners are aware at home, we do have a format for our podcast where we are going to compete against Big Dick every week in our different sports picks. There's going to be multiple different layers to this. The first is going to be overall win percentage. So let's say last week you picked San Fran against Arizona, right? They played Arizona. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not going to have the best payout, but
Nope.
You're most likely going to get the win. So at the end of the year, if your percentage is the highest, coupled with the most amount of payout, they will be the most successful gambler.
Yeah.
What's going to be our time frame, guys, on when we're going to call this? Is it going to be New Year's or?
Yeah, I think realistically we
yeah.
discussed doing like seasons.
Seasons.
as
Yeah,
there
I
are in
think New
sports.
Year's is good. Every 3 months or so, I think is a good time to just kind of have seasons of picks.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated along the way of when our final deadline is and what we're up against. But that's essentially the overlay of the entire podcast. Additionally, we at the end of the week are going to compare our picks to Dick, and we are either going to ride the Dick or beat the Dick.
Yes. Gotta beat the Dick.
Gotta beat the Dick.
Yeah.
We do.
Can't be riding Dick.
No.
So, with that, should we go to Big Dick? I think he's
Yeah, let's bring him back
from his
in. He's
cigarette.
probably done with that. We can bring him back in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he just smoked that one down quick. That was a full cigarette.
Hey, glad to be here among friends. Not. You guys all suck.
Okay,
Damn,
Dick.
okay, real original,
Jeez,
man.
buddy.
All right, okay.
Calm down.
All right, Big Dick. Let's
you got?
hear those picks, I guess.
Oh, we're letting him go first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to.
Yeah. Gotta know what we're beating, man.
He's got to get back outside and smoke some more darts.
All right. Fuck you guys. How about that? All right, my first pick is between two women.
Okay,
Definitely some names you've heard of.
that's
A
positive.
fight definitely worth watching. We've got Carolina Koala something or another
Who?
versus Diana
offensive.
Belbita. Sounds like Velveeta cheese. She's probably softer than that too. I'm gonna have to give it to Carolina because her opponent is actually a glorified stay-at-home mom with no actual
Okay,
children.
all right. Okay, so it's women's boxing.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like Big Dick, dude, you gotta chill out a little bit, man. Come on.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, that is so. You
I-
can't be doing that.
I'm not sure if I know the fighters. Are you talking? I think he's talking about Carolina Kowalkiewicz. I think
Kowalkiewicz?
Ko-
I think that's what it is.
Kowalkiewicz.
Yeah, Carolina
all right.
Kowalkiewicz.
Better than Big Dick.
She's like 37 and her opponent she's going against is 25.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay.
And I think she's going to, it's like old man strength. I don't know. She's going to teach the young girl something.
Kowalkiewicz is that old?
Yeah.
Wow. And
She's
she's
much
going against
older.
Diana Belbita. That's UFC on October 7th.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I would say it sounds like a lock, but I really don't want to go with Big Dick on this one,
Yeah,
so we'll see.
I kind of disagree with Big Dick, but you know what? We'll see how the older, seasoned fighter
All right,
does.
well, let's see. Is your
I was just
second
educating. I don't agree
Okay.
with this guy
Yeah,
either.
is your
All right.
second one any better than your first?
her
What do you
bones
got,
might
man?
break.
What do you got?
Yeah, let's hear the second one.
All right, for my second pick, I'm gonna have to go with the Bears this week.
Okay.
After seeing the spectacle that was the toilet bowl last week between the Broncos and the Bears, they found a way to throw that game completely away, even though it was fully in their grasp. I think they have a knack for that against a really, really bad Broncos team. But
Wow.
to be honest, I think someone's going to remind Justin Fields that if they keep losing, that the Bears are going to get the #1 overall draft pick, which means Caleb Williams is going to take his job. So I really think the Bears are going to start to win out the rest of their season. They've got the pieces. They've got the will. Justin Fields absolutely has the drive, and they're definitely going to take the W against the Commanders this week.
That is a hot pick.
That is,
Yeah.
I mean, in the nicest way possible, that's absolutely terrible. There's
Yeah.
no chance. I'm sorry, Richard, but, you need to, I don't know, maybe bet other sports, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think that especially with the short week, because they play Thursday night football, it's going to be a quick turnaround. They're playing against the Commanders, which they looked way better than the Broncos.
They looked
even
really
though
good.
it came down to a Hail Mary. Yeah, I disagree with Big Dick on that one as well.
Commanders looked
Yeah.
really good. Commanders are getting like 7 points. I don't know if I would.
7 points is looking good. Now we're
Hey.
sounding like Broncos fans.
I think Commanders -7 might be a little bit too much, but I definitely think they're going to win the game.
I would agree.
Yeah. Well, his reasonings are definitely extracurricular, you might call it.
Yeah.
So, Big Dick is certainly leaning on the fact that Caleb Williams is lighting a fire under Fields.
That's true.
That's a good
Which
point.
maybe is an intangible, perhaps, but
I mean,
I'm going to have to
Justin
agree.
Fields has talent, so you never know. Like, okay, Rich, what you got for your third one? Come on.
And for my third and final pick, we have another NFL bet. between the Bills and the Jaguars playing over in some foreign third world country, you might call it.
Okay,
Playing
all
in
right.
London,
UK.
whatever. I think the Bills are absolutely going to shred the Jaguars. Not even going to be a competition. Not close. Josh Allen all the way. Jaguars, they're being claimed by London as their team. That's fine. You can keep them. Trust me, Florida doesn't even want them either. So none of us in the U.S. do. You can keep that communist team to your guys' self. So I think that score is going to get run up so high on the Jaguars, or as they like to call it over there, the Jaguars. Whatever, we get it. You can't speak English. That's fine.
All
But
right, buddy.
Bills all the way. Lock it in. Third and final bet. I'm going 3 for 3 this week. You guys don't stand a chance.
Okay, I mean, a little disrespectful, but
Yeah. I think we
it's
kind of
your-
know where his views sit.
yeah, I think that's your best bet. I don't like your reasoning. I like the bet.
Yeah, I like the bet too, and I just want to, for all of our UK listeners out there, we do not believe your country is a third world country, even if we've dominated you in every war that we've ever been in with you.
Where, you know, you're our friends across the pond. We'd like to keep it that way, but Big Mo's right. We did win all the wars.
Yeah, undisputed champs.
All right, so let's recap this. So EPR, what are Big Dick's picks for this week? Just for our listeners, just a quick recap here.
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote these down so we can all track. So we'll keep a spreadsheet of this. We have Carolina money line at -162 for Big Dick's first pick. We have the Bears money line at +210. And then his last pick was Bills money line, and that's -130.
The Bills are only -130.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, I think it might be
Or
minus.
did I read that wrong?
Yeah, I think it's -230.
-230? I think I just...
Oh yeah.
I
It's
goofed.
-230.
That would
That's
make
all
way more
It's
sense,
like,
yeah.
I'm about to put $1,000
I know,
on that.
yeah.
Because that would be like
Even
minus
I was
one and a
looking at it,
half.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm reading what I wrote.
That would be
Dang,
minus one and a
that's
half,
solid.
minus
Yeah.
two.
Like maybe they poison the water over there. Maybe is that?
Yeah,
I will say the one thing against the
Jet
Bills,
lag?
which I am a little worried about, is the Jags have stayed there all week.
that's true.
So that is a leg up on the Bills, who are going to be jet lagged.
Yeah, I think the Bills are too good.
I do
yeah.
too. But I definitely think they're going to cover. But I like the money line bet better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's not a bad pick from Richard, but the other ones are, I would say, not so great.
Well, fuck you then.
Oh, fuck you, Richard.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, Big Mo, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. So I have a couple different sports here for you. So one of them is a quasi future bet, but it will settle while we're recording, most likely our next podcast on Tuesday, which is October 10th. So make sure to tune in and listen. But my first pick, going into the world of hockey. I'm sure that you've heard about him somewhere on the internet or on TV. This guy is electric. I personally think he's the best player I've ever seen play hockey. He's got the best release, best vision, and ability to make plays on the ice.
I'd second that.
I got Connor Bedard to score his first goal in the opening game October 10th against Pittsburgh. That's +175. I feel like that one is an absolute lock.
Mm-hmm.
He's struggled a little bit to score in the preseason, and every time he gets interviewed, he is hungry for goals. This guy's a natural goal scorer. I think that +175 is the best money that you could put down on Connor Bedard to score his first goal in his first game, just like a bunch of the other greats, like Mario Lemieux.
I mean, even Matthews' first game when he got a hattie.
He had four goals.
Well, yeah, he had 4 goals, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's the most impressive part.
Yeah.
But Bedard, generational talent. He's looked absolutely sick preseason. I get it's preseason, but the moves he's doing, his small adjustments on these now NHL caliber goaltenders, he's going to adjust. The kid's way too good to be pretty much shot down for the rest of this time.
For our new listeners, by the way, Big Mo and EPR are definitely big hockey heads.
Yes.
They got the knowledge when it comes to that. I'm a little more steered towards football, basketball. EPR's got some tennis stuff going on there. And we got some golf going from Big Mo as well. So, we got a good mix here. So when he says that when Big Mo's got a hockey bet, you kind of want to listen to him.
Yeah, if you aren't aware, if you aren't one of my friends or family that are listening to this podcast, which I'm assuming will be the majority for the beginning. I'm just kidding. We have millions of listeners.
Millions.
I paid for my wife's engagement ring, most of it, with a 10-leg parlay to win $3,100. And so if you want to get on the parlay train, I'd highly recommend it. I will be going through some here in a second, but let me conclude the remainder of my picks for the week. This one is a little bit of a dark horse. You might disagree with me, but I think that Oklahoma is going to get the job done. Money line against Texas. Now, is that a scary bet? Yes, I do think it is a scary bet. I think Texas could easily win the game. But on the other hand, the value is there for this bet. I got them at plus 210. I think that Oklahoma is going to have a chance to upset the number 3 ranked, or are they 2 now?
They're 3.
Number 3 ranked Texas. And that's going to be at plus 210.
All right. Yeah, that's bold. I like it.
I do think that's bold because, as you'll hear, I have the exact opposite. We'll get into, but it's the Red River Shootout.
Yeah,
and
it is.
Oklahoma has owned them for years, and the last 2 years has been a really high-scoring game. But then the previous one, Texas absolutely wiped the floor with them, no contest. And I'll be honest, that was against a better Oklahoma team.
That's true.
I think Oklahoma has a better defense than they did in the past. I think their offense has slowed down. They've kind of leveled some of the bars a little bit, put some more stats into the defensive side and lowered some of their offense. I just think Texas's QB, I think their entire scheme is going to be too dominant. And unless Texas turns the ball over, I think they control the game the whole time.
Well, sounds like we're going to decide this next week, folks.
Yeah. And just adding to that, too, it is in Texas, which is kind of worrisome.
Yep.
But if Oklahoma comes out with a strong start and goes into the half with a lead, I think that they can potentially lock it down with that defense.
I'll buy you some beer if you beat mine.
All right, we got a little side bet between Big Mo and EPR here.
Yep.
And then my third and final pick is another quasi-future that will be settled before our next podcast. And this goes into the world of baseball. I think the Milwaukee Brewers are going to defeat the Arizona Diamondbacks in the the wild card series. That bet is at minus 155. Milwaukee has won me a lot of money this year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very confident betting on them. And so I'm going to lock in my third and final pick with Milwaukee Brewers moving on to the next round.
Terrible.
Yeah, we don't really care what you think, Big Dick.
Yeah, fuck off, man.
You don't watch baseball?
I don't even think he knows what it is, and that's supposed to be America's pastime.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got my picks coming in here. Big Mo, he's going 3 different sports. I'm staying in the realm of the NFL. There's a lot of games this week that I really, really like. I'm gonna start probably the easiest bet will be a Ravens money line. The Steelers are sticking with Matt Canada, their offensive coordinator, who looks like he would not be very good coordinating a high school football team. And also they're down their starting quarterback against Lamar Jackson, who looked a lot better. He's starting to pick it up last week. And that was against a Cleveland Browns defense.
And Andrews is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, it is...
They kind of woke up a little bit.
The fact that it's a minus 238 is shocking to me. If you want to add some points toward the Ravens, I could say you would. Otherwise, put a lot of money on the minus 238. And, I think that is an absolute lock of a bet.
He said it.
It's a lock.
It's a lock.
It's a lock.
Easy lock.
It's got the
Easy
lock.
lock.
That's what's going to happen.
This guy.
And our second bet, also a lock, is going to be Texans minus 2.5. And that's for plus 125. Texans are not favored in this game against the Atlanta Falcons, who looked atrocious last week. Not only did their quarterback look like he lost all confidence, they are not using their athletic weapons that keep giving them points in games. And I'm saying points in Vegas because they're not actually providing points in games. They, Vegas loves putting money and putting some extra stuff towards the Falcons' way because they have a lot of young offensive weapons. The problem is they don't have a quarterback, and that's kind of an important position in football.
That's true.
Do you guys want my opinion?
No.
No. Yeah, absolutely not. Let Amesy finish.
But so for the Falcons Texans, I definitely like the Texans. Also, C.J. Stroud is looking like an absolute rookie of the year candidate and probably the front runner at this point.
I like the pick. Are you worried at all about them going into the God-fearing, closed on Sundays, Chick-fil-A loving Atlanta Stadium, or no?
Honestly,
love that place, by the way.
Honestly, the Falcons do not have a lot of fire. Like, they don't have the kind of team that excites crowds.
You haven't seen them after they've lost.
Wait,
that's Detroit. Sorry.
No, they don't really they don't excite their crowd. They do a lot of 8-yard passes, and they don't score a lot of points. So I actually don't think home field advantage has a big factor in this game.
Is that because they do have a high school coach? And so the 8-yard pass is kind of their range.
That is true, and that's all their quarterback can throw. So
I think those fans do get real excited when they put some of that Bijan mustard sin on
Yeah.
some of that
If
chicken.
you are from
Chick-fil-A.
Atlanta, you are great. You're great.
Yeah.
And
They do have some exciting weapons, but that guy cannot carry his whole team without still taking losses.
I will say the only way the Falcons win is if they just do Wildcat the entire game with Bijan Robinson. If he has 50 carries, then I would pick the Falcons in this game.
They
That
can't
dude's
stop
nuts.
Which he could have 50 carries with the way that offense is looking. It's
I think they
super
see him as
run-heavy.
future though, and you don't want to wear a guy out like that.
Yeah.
That's true.
You just take the L.
And
You're
then
the Algier.
final bet. This one's a little bit more on a win or a wing, but it's gonna be on the Thursday night game here, and I am going with like a double result: first half winner, end of regulation winner. I'm going Bears first half winner, Commanders end of regulation winner. So I think, as much as I hate to say it, Big Dick made a good point that the Bears do have talent. Justin Fields is good. But the Commanders are the better football team. I think there's a good chance the Bears get up, and then their coaching and also their lack of skill at other positions loses them the game. And that's coming in at plus 650.
Wow.
That's bold.
There's some value in that one.
Yeah. That kind of ties back to what we said in the beginning. Something like that lands,
Yeah.
that puts him in the driver's seat pretty quick.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
That puts Big Mo and I in a position where we have to start getting a little bit more aggressive because we're going to be tracking this week to week, and we're competitive guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we know, hey, one guy is going to be like my nature. I'm a little bit more conservative on the betting side, so I might have smaller ones, but if I start falling behind, I'm going to
Plus 650.
Yeah, plus
come in here.
650. Exactly.
Just wait until one of my parlays hits.
All right. Once a year.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree. Yeah.
EPR on
All right,
what do you got?
EPR to finish us off here. What are your picks for this week?
Well, you already heard my first one because it was contradictory to yours. I think the Red River Shootout ends with Texas victorious.
What are the odds on that one?
So that is not the whole bet, though.
Oh.
I put these into a parlay this week. I have
Okay.
3 parlays.
All right.
3 parlays.
All
Whoa.
3.
Whoa.
And all of them are 3 legs, you know?
Pedrino Rojo, no!
See?
Spicy.
Uh-huh. Yep.
His hair's turning redder.
I got a little bit of that Bijan mustard. Now I'm feeling it. But
Ah.
no, that's part of it, and I think this is the most confident piece to it. I think Texas takes that, but with my parlay, the first one, I've got Texas winning. I've got the Bama A&M game. I've got Bama winning that one.
All right. I like that.
think they've kind of struggled, but at the same time, they really do own A&M for the most part. I know A&M's kind of the spoiler team, but I think Bama's got the weapons, and they truly have an amazing coach, and they only get better. So you can never count them out.
Okay.
And then the last one is the Maryland-Ohio State game, and I actually have the over on that.
What's the over at?
The over currently, if I believe it is 57.5.
Ooh, that's a lot of points.
But you know who the QB of Maryland is? It's Tua's brother.
Tua's brother, that's
and
right.
And he has been absolutely slinging it. Maryland looks sick. They have a lot of holes in their team. I think their defense is obviously a problem. Ohio State actually defensively looks a lot better, but I think both those teams have the offensive weapons to just make that a high-scoring game.
57.5 seems a little low, actually, for a college game with two high-octane offenses.
I agree. I think it'll be a fun, exciting game. But that parlay, all three legs together, again, Texas, Bama, over on the Maryland-Ohio State game, is coming in at plus 361.
All right. I like those odds. The one thing that I disagree with you on is the Maryland game being the over. Every time I bet on them for the over, it's like a 3-7 game.
I know.
So,
does Tua's brother get concussed too, or is that just an older brother thing?
We'll find out.
Okay.
We'll find out.
All right.
He wasn't concussed when he played college ball, I don't think.
Concussion protocols are much less in the NCAA.
All right.
Yeah,
they just send him out there.
Just get him out there. What's an education anyway?
He just knows he's on grass.
Yeah, they don't even check.
Go do your thing.
But no, I would have to agree with you. But at the same time, I think it's one of those situations where it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Where everything aligns and the perfect storm comes in. And
part of betting, right?
Touchdown celebration.
Ohio State might just...
Bunch of hydraulic presses.
I piss my pants. A hydraulic press comes down on them. Yep,
Ohio
exactly.
State just might win 59-0 too.
It's also very possible.
That is true.
That's what's factored into it, is that they just dominate them.
All right.
My second pick, again, another parlay here, 3 legs. We've got the 49ers versus Cowboys. Got the 49ers winning that one.
All right.
I think they're both good teams, truthfully, but I think the Cowboys are still the Cowboys at the end of the day.
Yep.
And the 49ers have so many weapons that I think they just control the game.
And they have so many weapons, but they also have a freaking nuke called Christian McCaffrey.
Yep. CMC is going to keep doing his thing.
So he's played 16 games with the 49ers. Anyone guess how many touchdowns he has?
16.
16.
Yep.
He has a touchdown. He's averaging 1 touchdown a game.
Yeah.
They made up for a lot of that with 4 touchdowns last week. He literally carried my fantasy team to a victory, and I was playing against David Montgomery. So if that says anything,
Yeah, I mean, did you see the stat? If you were to bet on him for an anytime TD score week after week and just kept rolling the money over, how much money you'd have by the end of that?
No.
Yeah, it was like tens of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time to start.
Just keep rolling over. He scores every week. You can bet on him.
That's true. Yeah, except if his
optional
ACL
leg
pops out.
That's the question mark.
Yep.
If he keeps playing, but
he doesn't look like he's going to slow down.
No, he's going. So I have 49ers. Then I've got Ravens Pittsburgh. I've got Ravens winning that one for some obvious reasons. Trubisky's in, which means Pittsburgh's out. So Ravens got that one, and then the Bills Jags. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with Big Dick. I do think that the Bills are going to win that game. Jet lag or not,
man.
I'm riding it this time.
You're riding his dick?
Yeah, I know.
Gosh. I would have wrote it if it was minus 130.
You would have wrote it for anything, but yeah, I'm going to have to
wrote
throw
it if it was raining outside.
Exactly. So those 3 together, we've got coming in at plus 242.
Plus 242. All
Okay.
right.
Not bad.
All right.
Not bad. And my third and final parlay is just a 2-leg parlay. I misspoke. I thought they were all 3.
All right.
We've got the another Pittsburgh team, but this time hockey. We got the Penguins versus Chicago. I think the Penguins spoil Connor Bedard's first game, and even though Bedard scores, which I agree with, I think Pittsburgh ultimately wins that game. And Chicago just does not have enough depth. They truly lack depth. I think their goaltending is weaker than everybody, assuming their goaltender even stays healthy. And I think that's a Penguins victory. I think it's going to be Sid the Kid teaching the new kid on the block what true talent means over a long career.
You almost had an anti-Big Mo pick that week. Every single one was an anti-Big Mo.
I know.
So choose who you want to ride with. You want to ride with Big Mo or EPR or Big Dick.
Yeah.
Or just choose the locks.
Or just choose Anzy's locks.
That's
yeah.
fine. You know? I
That's
mean,
true.
sometimes people don't
Kind
want
of-
to pick locks.
kind
That's
of-
fine. It's
No,
fine.
I think a lot of people want to pick locks if they're
Okay.
criminals,
All
like
right.
your picks. So, that leg, and then the last one, I'm a bit of a homer on this because I am in Colorado, big Avs fan. I think the Avs beat the Kings.
I love that.
The odds were both for money line -110 for either team.
Yeah, I can
The
see
Kings have some talent now, and the Kings have always played them tough. I just think that the Avs are going to make a statement. I think I watched their last preseason game, and 4 or 5 of the big guns were out there, and they looked just incredible. Mac looked like he was on another level again. If he dials it in, they're just going to keep cooking. So
Yeah, you know what the over/under is set at on that game?
I didn't.
Let me look this up.
I didn't
because
double check.
In early NHL games, it's either a shootout and the goalies are horrible,
Here
or
it says over under 6.5.
all right. I think that if I was going to
That's
add
high.
another pick, which I'm not, but just for our listeners out there, I think that the under 6.5 is going to be a good one for that Avs Kings game as well. A lot of the players are going to be new to both of these lineups. They're going to be afraid to make mistakes. They're going to be doing the simple, smart plays. They're going to get pucks on net. And I think that under 6.5 is a good
Yeah.
line, -115 for an extra bonus pick for our listeners.
I would
there.
agree. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a 3-1 game sort of
I would
situation.
agree. Yeah.
So one team's going to kind of control it, the other team's going to score a goal, and for the most part, it's going to be late.
Hockey. Am I right?
Hockey.
So that
Hockey.
Yeah.
two leg parlay, we got the Penguins and Avs coming in at +173. So again, all 3 picks parlays. I wanted some better odds overall, a little bit riskier. That's just how I'm going to roll this week.
All right.
All right, so now that you've all listened to our picks, EPR, why don't we go through just a quick recap? Let's start off. We already listened to Big Dick's, so let's start off with mine. Just a quick recap in case you are trying to put these in a bet slip.
Yep. So we've got Big Mo with Connor Bedard's first goal versus Pittsburgh at 175. He has Oklahoma money line at +210, and then he's got the Brewers in the World Series, not World Series, but wild card part of the World Series win versus Arizona at -155. We've got Amesy with the Ravens money line at -238. The Texans with the hot take spread -2.5.
+2.5. Or sorry, -2.5.
Yeah,
You're right.
-2.5,
Don't
right?
listen.
For +125 odds. And then the last one is the Bears Commanders
Double result.
with the double result of +650.
All right.
And then lastly, we have mine, again, the the opposite of Big Mo's. We've got Texas, Bama, and the over for the Maryland OSU game at 361. We have the 49ers, Ravens, and Bills all winning, parlayed at 242. And then the last parlay, we have the Penguins winning and the Avs winning at 173.
All right. Well, thank you for that, EPR. And just for our listeners out there, every week we are going to be trying to bring on a guest for the parlays, or for the picks, I should say.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah,
Richard.
I don't. Is that all you can say, buddy?
Go fucking smoke a dart, bud. Jeez. All right, he's outside now. Now I can finally talk. I can think.
Did you even like those picks? Did you like those
Oh
picks?
shit, he's back.
Oh gosh.
Not even your mom would choose that, and she chose you. So that's saying something.
Yeah, well, fuck you. So,
Got him.
but-
He didn't like any of them apparently.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I picked one with you, Big Dick. Literally had the Bills. Doesn't
Hey.
even care.
just stop riding his dick.
He's a
okay?
prideful man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Probably thought it was his idea
anyways, every week we're going to try and bring on a guest each week. We have a long list of guests signed up. If you would like to be potentially one of our guests, let us know in the comments down below, or send us a message directly. But with that said, our picks are solidified. Big Dick's picks are solidified. That takes us into our next segment, Ashtray Parlay.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right. Big Dick's favorite part, because he's now back in the garage smoking one.
Yeah, Big Dick really loves an ashtray, a good old ashtray, but they don't tell you to plug your throat hole in the shower.
So, for our new listeners, what a ashtray parlay is pretty much behind it. What do you got, Big Mo?
Yeah. So
Explain it to
the thought process behind the ashtray parlay is for any of our smoker listeners out there.
Or non-smokers.
Or non-smokers. You can just assume the fiending levels of a smoker. Let's say that you are completely out of darts, you're completely out of cigarettes, and you're fiending. You're just absolutely fucking fiending, and you really want a cigarette. You start looking through the couch. You start looking under the cushions. You look under your bed. You look through your pockets in your jacket. You look through the one that you left on in the old winter, and you got drunk outside and threw up all over yourself. There's no way there's a fucking cigarette in there. But you're still looking. You find yourself outside, searching through the ashtray. Most of it's going to be butts. Most of it is. So I'd highly recommend not spending a bunch of money on this. But, just in case, you're still going to look. You're going to look through that ashtray and you're going to find that one unsmoked Marlboro. And you're going to rip it down for a bunch of profit.
Absolutely.
And then you're going to buy an engagement ring. So you never know.
Yeah, you're going to buy an engagement ring with that nice little Marlboro. And with that, I take you to this week's Ashtray Parlay. It's all going to be college football. I am extremely, extremely confident in this bet. As extremely confident as I would be searching through an ashtray that there's going to be a full one in there. So keep that in mind. But I'm just going to fire through this, okay?
Yeah, lay it all out for him.
All right. So it's a 11-pick parlay at plus 13,118 odds. So if that tells you anything, it's probably not going to happen. But if it does,
We'll see. I mean, you're feeling confident. I'm feeling confident. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling confident.
I'm getting the boys riled up here. Let's go.
Come on.
You've got me fired up.
All right. Get this bet in if you're fired up.
I'm feeling
All right, starting off with the ashtray parlay, we got Illinois money line against Nebraska. Sorry, EPR.
Oof.
I know EPR loves Nebraska, but fuck them. All right.
I've said the same already. Don't worry.
On to the next one. We got Boston College money line against Army West Point. Sorry to the military. Marshall plus 6.5 against North Carolina State. Buffalo plus 3 against Central Michigan. Washington State money line against UCLA. We're riding EPR's dick here a little bit. We got Alabama money line.
Let's go.
Going out to my folks in Iowa. We got Iowa beating Purdue. We got Kansas beating UCF. And then following that up with Kentucky plus 14.5 against the Georgia Bulldogs. And then we got over 51.5 Notre Dame and Louisville. And then finally, last but not least, Colorado State against Utah State. Fuck those fucking Utah State Aggies. Colorado State's the real Aggies.
Utah, we love you.
He's no, we don't. Not in this case.
Utah, we
Can-
hate you.
Can we say, yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
To be fair, we are bit homers on that too. 'Cause
We are.
Both of
We
us
are
went there. Big
we
Mo
are
and I did.
Colorado based as well.
Amesy, not so much, but we've adopted him.
We've adopted him. He can cheer for the correct Aggies.
Yes.
Especially when it's an 11 leg. Are you thinking it's a lock? I'm not saying it's not an
It's
easy
not
lock.
No ashtray
You can't call
parlay
these
is a
locks,
lock.
no.
Yeah, you're
Alright.
never gonna search through an
Alright.
ashtray and be like, "This is a lock that I'm finding a full unsmoked dart."
All right,
But-
I'm putting a
yeah.
buck on it.
But if it does, those little fiending urges that you have will fill your bank account so you can buy more darts. All right.
And with all the winnings that you make from such great picks of ours, mostly mine, I would have to assume. What's $1?
Yeah,
right?
what's $1?
What's
Yeah,
$1 to search through that
exactly.
ashtray? That's fantastic.
For those of you at home that cannot do math or read, I'm looking at you, Kentucky fans. Sorry, but not sorry. $1 would win you $1,312.18.
Or, hear me out, We're not sponsored by them by any means, but if you use DraftKings, they give those promos all the time. You're not even concerned about it. You could throw a $10 risk-free bet on that bad boy.
Hey, no free promos. No free promos.
I'm just saying.
No free promos.
All right.
One day.
Just saying, if you were concerned, you get it back.
DraftKings, feel free to sponsor us. We are open.
We are not affiliated. Please sponsor us.
Anyways, moving on.
That's for the risk-averse ones out there. I just want to let them know in case the dollar was really messing with them.
And if you have made it to this part of the segment where you've listened to all of our dumbass bets and Big Dick's dumbass bets, you might want to get some help. And that's one thing that all of us need to be aware of. If gambling ever turns into a problem, make sure you call the Gambling Addiction Hotline. That is 1-800-522-4700. If you have a problem with gambling, make sure you give them a call. Don't be putting up the mortgage on my ashtray parlay. I mean, if you really want to be rich, you might want to, but if you think that's a good idea, call the hotline.
Everything you bet, you should assume that you will lose.
Yes.
You should never bet more than you can lose.
Yeah, never bet more than you can lose. Have a stomach for risk. If you're willing to put a couple bucks on a game to make it a little more interesting, do that, but don't get to the point where you're, putting the high yield savings account touchdown fund on it.
That's probably that's
$512.
That's easily the smartest thing that was said in this entire podcast. But anyone who's in sports betting, no one's an expert. You can't call yourself an expert because at the end of the day, you're gambling. Mm-hmm. So we're here to have fun. We're here to entertain y'all, and we're just having a good time ourselves.
Now let's talk about some idiots. How about we do that?
That brings us to our next segment and our second to last segment of this week, which is the butt of the week. Amesy, why don't you go ahead and explain what the butt of the week is?
So, butt of the week, this is a way to kind of, look at something that's happened this week or this past week or recently, someone who just was terrible or some performance that was terrible and deserves to be recognized. We're here to ridicule you a little bit for your performance, whatever it is. We need to recognize you for your terribleness. Maybe it'll be some inspiration. Maybe you'll be a little bit better next week. But we're going to laugh at you this week.
Exactly. And with that, who wants to start us off? VPI, Ainsley, you got a good one? I have a good one.
I was gonna say I have a couple.
I can go with the butt of the week. I got
let's hear it,
a pretty interesting one.
Sure. We'll lead it off to you. So go ahead.
All right. I got a good one. My butt of the week is going to be Amazon Prime Football Thursdays because they have had terrible games. And I don't know if it's, any sort of like, okay, since Amazon started doing these footballs, like the amount of terrible games that has been on Amazon Thursdays has been nuts. And guess what the game this week is? It is the Bears versus the Commanders.
I didn't know that was bad.
It is going to be an ugly game. Man, I mean, they paid so much freaking money to have these games on Thursdays, and they have had, I think I can remember 1 or 2 games last year and this year combined. So I think that's going to keep this week. Amazon Prime, you're the butt of the week. You paid way too much money.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid butt of the week.
I didn't even think about that. That's really good.
So is the real butt of the week Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
No, he didn't make that decision. Are you kidding
Bezos, you are the butt of the week. Unless you're listening to this, we are open for a sponsor.
More.
Sponsored by DraftKings and Amazon.
Big Dick's sponsored by Amazon. Yeah, top that.
Our bets come with a 1-day delivery.
All right, what do you got, Big Mo?
I have one that's recently really fresh, especially with how much shit we were talking about the third world country of the UK.
Well, we weren't.
Well, yeah, we weren't. Big Dick was. We support England somewhat, other than in wars, but
we still won.
Yeah, but no. My butt of the week is, it has to be the United States Ryder Cup team, and more specifically, their captain, Zach Johnson.
Ugh.
What a brutal time watching that event this last weekend, the Ryder Cup is always electric. I was extremely excited to watch it. And what do I get when I turn it on? Waking up nice and early, I get to see the United States get absolutely dominated.
Demolished.
And Zach Johnson, on top of that, like literally the only time that this guy coached anyone, it seemed like, was with Jordan Spieth, drivable par 4. Tells him, no, don't bring out the driver. Hit the 3-wood, even though the 3-wood's going to go right in the water.
Yeah, nothing's going to go wrong.
Yeah, Spieth listened to him, and what the fuck do you think happened? It went in the water to fucking lose the match.
I would rather watch Thursday Night Football.
Yeah. Every year I'm excited for the Ryder Cup, and the USA I thought was going to have a better effort. Everyone was telling me Europe was a lock, and I should have listened. I could have had a lock like Amesy. Instead, my United States nationalism got in the way of my bank account, and I'm going to say Zach Johnson and Team USA was the butt of the week.
That's solid. Yeah, that was really disappointing to see, truthfully.
Yeah.
Just going, how?
I mean, Victor Hovland is
the skill was there,
but still, yeah. You got Scotty Scheffler.
We'll get him back in the Olympics.
Yeah,
we got some great swimmers.
We'll get him back in everything.
We're gonna sweep those swimming medals. We'll feel way better about ourselves.
That's true. Yeah, fuck England.
Oh,
fuck Europe.
Jeez. Well, I personally didn't really have a true butt of the week. Mine last week was pretty iconic, but none of you will get to hear that. So I'm going to have to go and piggyback off of Amesy's in some capacity. I think the butt of the week is really Chicago in general.
The city? Or
yes.
It could have been this last weekend.
It could have been, yeah, with everything else. But no, truthfully, the Bears. Sorry, I don't know how you can throw away a game that poorly at the end.
I was there in person as a Broncos fan. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
it was pretty hilarious.
Big Mo was pretty hyped. I was looking at the score here from home, going, "All right, this game's over. This is just how do you lose to the Bears? Really, Broncos? You are terrible." But you know who's more terrible? Apparently the Bears. And they found a way to lose. The
Bears are bad. They're real
Broncos
bad.
didn't even really find a way to win. They did okay at the end. They did rally. But, wow.
I will say, as a Packers fan, it was almost worse for me because it made our win week 1 look even less good. I would say.
It takes the air out of your sails.
Real good about our win against Chicago week 1. And
does.
then, turns out everyone beats them. So,
Yep.
Chicago, the city, we love you.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that was just a horrible, horrible weekend for all Chicago sports fans. Not only did the Bears blow what seemed like a for sure win, the White Sox had their 100th loss of the season, and the Cubs got eliminated from the postseason in the same day, which they seem like a lock for that first wild card spot going into the playoffs.
They still got Connor Bedard.
Yep, they still have Connor Bedard, but let's see if they choke it in the second half like all of their other sports. And with that concludes our Butt of the Week segment of this week. And now we're going to take you to our final segment, which we will throw out there every single week if you feel like it. We have a futures board that we are going to have posted up here in our podcast recording studio.
We got some Post-it notes on it. We're going to be throwing them on it with our picks, our futures picks, and as we make them, you do have to be open to ridicule if your picks are shit. That's what you have to remember because
that's half the fun.
Yeah, we will remember, and we'll keep the the ridicule on this podcast during this segment too. We don't have any right now, obviously. But moving forward, as those futures picks start to suck, we will be blasting each other.
And EPR is going to have to look at them all week long while we're recording because he has the pleasure of obtaining and holding the futures board.
Yeah, a real privilege. Right.
And to keep it consistent with our units, we're going to be doing a specific bet amount for each apart. So we're going to be doing a $10, $50, and $100 futures segment based off your confidence. And holy shit, if you cannot hear this dog barking, I think that they should get the real butt of the week. They're right next to our recording studio. And I apologize to our listeners out there if all they can hear is all right.
I apologize to the listeners who had to hear that.
I apologize to our headphones listeners.
I
who just
apologize
jumped
to
their
the
car.
editor of this entire podcast and for having to hear that.
I
R.I.P.
apologize to
your
the people
eardrums.
in this room who had to look at Big Mo and watch him as he was making those barking noises.
I feel uncomfortable. Yeah.
All right, on to our futures picks. Barking Mo, you want to start it off?
Yeah. No, it's Big Mo, not Barking Mo.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to start calling you Big Dick 2.
Got him.
All right. I do have 2 futures bets, and I am more confident about these bets than I was about any bet that I listed today on our show, which is why I'm willing to put them in the $100
$100
category
each.
Whoa.
Okay.
each.
That's a lot of ridicule.
Yeah, it is a lot of ridicule if I get this wrong, but I know that they're going to be right. So, first one, they're both going to be NHL. Adam Fantilli over 46.5 points for the season. It's currently at minus 125. A $10 bet would win you at $180. This kid got dropped a few spots down in the draft to the Columbus Blue Jackets. This kid's got something to prove. He was the leading scorer in all of NCAA hockey last year with Michigan, and I was shocked to see that he wasn't taken number 2 overall by the Anaheim Ducks. Over 46.5 is an absolute lock with a ton of value at minus 125. Lock it in now for the future. Put it in a fucking high yield savings account when it cashes out. That is my first future lock. Additionally, I have another rookie NHL parlay. You've already heard us talk about him, and that is the one, the only, Connor Bedard. The over-under for him is currently set at over 69.5 for points, which is at a betting line of minus 115. For those of you out there that are unaware of what points mean in hockey, you can get 1 point for a goal, you get 1 point for an assist. They count the same. So if he gets 50 assists and 20 goals, he wins that bet. I think that's an easy lock. That's my second lock for the futures board. Lock it in.
Just like that dog's locking it in.
All right, with that, let's throw it over to Amesy. You got any futures that you
Yeah,
want to throw up on the board?
Yeah, I got one future I'm throwing up on the board. I'm just doing one right now. I don't want to go crazy. I'm gonna go 50. I'm gonna go $50, not 100.
All right, so middle confidence. Yeah.
Middle confidence, and I am actually gonna go with the Texans winning the division. They are at plus 460 right now. Ahead of them are the Jags and the Titans.
All right.
Jags look shaky, and the Texans already have the tiebreaker against them. Titans can never score more than 30 points. Stroud's looked really good. Will Anderson's looked really good. Wide receivers have looked good. They have young, talented running backs. Their defense is looking athletic. And it's really a wide open division. The Jags are not who people thought they were this year. They might prove it later, but I really think if it comes down to the last game or two, that tiebreaker at plus 460, might be enough to put them over the top.
I actually really like that. And I could actually see that happening. Before the season, I would have told you were smoking crack.
Yeah, I would have told myself I'm a complete joke. Trust me. They were supposed to be. They were going into the season. They had the second pick, in rankings for next year.
True.
It's quite shocking, but Stroud is that player. He's that dude.
Yeah, I could see that. And I do want to just give one quick caveat back on my picks real quick. If there is an injury, I apologize to you for my confidence.
All right. Thanks for jinxing it into the world.
I'll knock on wood right now. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
And with that, we are going to be ending our first podcast here.
Wait.
Oh.
EPR.
Oh,
Did you have
EPR?
a
Oh,
future?
you got a
Did you have a future?
I don't have much of a future.
He doesn't,
you
he
know.
doesn't have a future.
No, this week,
He's got a future in the podcasting industry.
Yes, you could say that.
Or the porn industry. Either one.
That's called past.
Oh,
Okay. No, I kind of had to redraft that a little bit, so I'll come back with one next week. I don't want to look at that board and see all your guys' ugly futures up there.
Yeah.
You are the one that has to carry it around.
And look at
Exactly.
it every night. That's
Yeah,
fair.
it's gonna weigh a lot more because actually I put it on a full steel sheet, and it's actually engraved, so it can't change.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's heavy. It's actually quite laborious.
Screw sticky notes.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah, you said sticky notes. I wanted to correct that right now.
Woo, okay.
It's already been engraved underneath the sticky notes.
All right.
Little
It's
did
it's
we
a
know.
1 inch
Freaking
thick piece
Stanley
of
Cup here. Okay.
1
All
inch
right.
thick piece of steel, and it's like 12 by 12.
Okay.
So it's dense.
All right. Hopefully we do Lord Stanley proud.
Yes.
I love it. All right. Well, for those listeners that have tuned in for the entire pod, I wanted to thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. And
All our hearts.
And from all of our hearts.
Yeah,
Except
we
big
appreciate
dicks.
But with that, we are going to sign out, and make sure to listen to us on Spotify. Check back in next Tuesday, and we will re-record with some new ways for you to lose money.
See ya!